The episode starts with Bani trying to escape from the storeroom. On another side, Talika realizes the gel is not working. She calls for help. Bani escapes from the storeroom window. Yuvan sees Hemant and confronts him where is Talika and asks if he is trying to kill Talika like he killed his mom. Hemant asks why would he kill his love. He says Bani brainwashed you and I didn't harm your mom. Yuvan thinks dad is not agreeing even after seeing me as Kabir, so Bani's doubt is wrong. Hemant calls Kabir to come with him to save Talika. Yuvan goes with him. Hemant thinks the real Kabir will counter seeing Talika in danger. Bani comes to Talika. She jumps into the fire and rescues her. Bani tries to escape, but her sari gets struck. Yuvan and others come there. Bani calls for help and she says to Yuvan that Hemant did this to put fire to Talika and change gel, and he knows that you're Yuvan, not Kabir. Yuvan gets shocked. Yuvan tries to save Bani. Hemant stops Yuvan. Bani asks Yuvan to not come in and she asks Yuvan to recall what happened to his mom. Hemant asks Bani to stop. Bani collapses in between fire and asks him to recall what happened in the past with Vandana. Yuvan recalls how his dad doubted his mom that Buntai is her daughter with Guruji. Vandana tells him he is just her Guruji, but Hemant didn't listen and says she cheated on him, and because of the drunken state he trips and drops the fire which burns Vandana. Yuvan tries to go to his mom, but Hemant stops her. Yuvan recalls the past and he throws his father recalls how Hemant feels guilty learning Vandana is innocent seeing the DNA report. Family members try to control the fire. Yuvan says to Hemant, I have recollected how you killed my mom. Everyone gets shocked. Yuvan covers himself in a blanket and saves Bani. Yuvan asks Bani if she is fine. He tells to Bani your belief has won, as I remember everything. Hemant cries. Bani hugs in happiness and says Kabir is gone forever. Tolika upset. Yuvan scolds Bani for risking her life. He says you're correct. Dad is the murderer who killed my mom, and to hide his mistake he made me a mad person. Bani says to Yuvan that she can understand his pain, but you need to face this truth. Yuvan feels a headache and hugs Bani. Bir asks Viraj how Kabir is hugging Bani. Yuvan removes his contact lens. Viraj says he is Yuvan who pretends to be Kabir. Bani smiles. Devraj gets shocked to learn Hemant is the culprit. He hugs Yuvan and Bani. Hemant asks Yuvan to forgive him. The episode starts with Devraj slapping Hemant. Devraj says he is ashamed of himself as in his parenting he committed a crime, and that to Vandana. Devraj questions Hemant on why did he do this. Hemant says he did not try to kill Vandana and says when they were arguing he got really angry with Vandana and killed her. Hemant reveals to everyone what happened between him and Vandana. Hemant says he used to be very possessive with Vandana. Hemant says he got jealous with how Vandana's music teacher and Vandana were close. Hemant says after Vandana's music teacher died, she brought a girl home, and i.e. Buntai, Talika, who is the daughter of Vandana's music teacher. Hemant questions Vandana on why did she bring Talika here. Vandana says she gave her word to the music teacher to take care of her if something happens to him. Hemant says Vandana tried to make Talika a part of this family and he didn't like that. Hemant says Vandana doing this he suspected her even more. Hemant says he got into an argument when he was drunk. Hemant is shown to be questioning Vandana if she had an extramarital affair. Vandana says she didn't. Hemant asks Buntai to leave the house. Yuvan is shown to be defending Buntai. Hemant says after that Mahashivaratri came and says he didn't want to kill Vandana, but his suspicion made him make a mistake. Hemant apologizes too. Devraj asks the police to take Hemant away from here. The police take Hemant away. Bani greets Agastya and says he doesn't know what happened today. Agastya says he knows and says Talika told him. Agastya says he came to say goodbye to her as he has a London flight, and he wanted to meet her one last time. Bani asks Agastya when is he going to return. Agastya says he is not going to return and says he is going to take care of the studio there like his dad ordered him. Agastya says Bani and Yuvan's is true love and not to lose it. Bani agrees. Bani asks Agastya if he has ever fallen in true love. Agastya says he didn't. Agastya says farewell to Bani. Bani also says farewell to Agastya. Yuvan sees that Bani is hurt. Yuvan says he will call the doctor. Bani says there is no need for that. Bani says the doctor is talking with Talika about his next treatment. Doctor says to Talika and Rathod family that Kabir is not completely out of Yuvan. Doctor says it's good that Yuvan has faced his trauma and says there is no cure for split personality and says it can only be controlled by medicine. Doctor says Kabir might come out if Yuvan is too stressed. Doctor asks Talika to warn Yuvan and Bani so that they will be mentally prepared. Talika agrees. Doctor leaves from there. Devraj thinks of how much Bani has gone through for Yuvan. Charmi also says to Talika they know how much she has sacrificed for saving Yuvan. Veer reminds the family what the doctor said about Kabir might come out anytime and says they are still not out of danger. Talika says there is no need for him to worry and says Kabir will only come out when there is a major situation. Brinda comments on Hemant's crime. Devraj agrees and says he is ashamed to call himself his father. Veer comforts Devraj. Talika says she will go and call Yuvan and Bani. Talika sees Yuvan taking care of Bani and says to herself that this is not Kabir but Yuvan. She says she should not allow Bani to know the truth of her marriage and what happened with Kabir. Talika is about to leave. Bani sees Talika leaving and calls her. Talika goes to Bani and Yuvan. Bani thanks Talika for what she did and says even if Talika is right in front of Yuvan, Kabir is not coming out. Bani also asks Yuvan to thank Talika. Yuvan thanks Talika for what she did. Yuvan leaves after talking for a while. Bani says to Talika to never think of herself as an orphan as she and the whole Rathod family is always there for her. Talika hugs Bani and feels guilty for hiding the truth from her. Episode ends.